Hey Trojans, I'm Nico Horning, the Vice President of Sports Broadcasting here at Trojan Pride Sports Marketing. Today I had the chance to get caught up with our new head football coach, Casey Taylor. Coach Taylor not only brings an impressive record to the table of 7 section titles and a state championship, he also returns to his alma mater to lead a talented group of student athletes. Let's get after it.
Hi, I'm Casey Taylor, a new head football coach at Oak Ridge High School.
So, how did you get into football, first of all?
Good question. I grew up playing sports. Love sports, played all sports. Football is always my funnest. Growing up in Elmira Hills, we didn't have, we had flag football in our classes, but we had a Pop Warner team down in Folsom. So I grew up in Cameron Park when I first got here, so we would trek down to Folsom, and I played Pop Warner for all the way through up until I started high school. So I just really fell in love with the game, really liked it. Loved I think it's the ultimate team sport, just loved the camaraderie with people. But I loved all sports, but football was the one that stood out for me. And I was pretty good at it too, so I had an opportunity to go play after high school, so that was kind of my avenue. But fell in love with it at an early age and still in love with it.
So last year you coached at Intercom, and what was it like teaching in a year of uncertainty, and what can you use to apply to the future?
Very interesting with the COVID season. We were in Sacramento County, so restrictions were a lot tighter. So we never could go, we never could use the weight room, we never could use the locker room. We had weekly testing. From a football perspective, as a teacher, I was a PE teacher as well, and we could never go inside. So I was out on the track early in the morning on turn 2, I used to call it, and we'd have about 4 or 5 kids live there, and it's the hybrid programs, and all the other kids on Zoom. So it was very unique, and it was just, it's really hard to explain unless you've gone through it. It was just funny how it started off, everybody kind of excited about it. You could just see how people would just start getting sick of the Zooms and things like that, especially in PE. It's a little hard. So it was a very challenging year. I was very fortunate to have an opportunity at Intercom and enjoyed my time there. But obviously very excited to be here at alma mater at Oak Ridge, and really looking forward to not only being a football coach here, but being a teacher and really getting to know all the kids.
What do you strive for in coaching, and what do you look for in your players, and how do you get them to respect you and have that mutual relationship?
Well, to me, I think football is a vehicle to teach life lessons. That's kind of why I see it, and I really want to work with kids from 8 to 18, with football being that vehicle. So I want to make connections with kids. I think that's the most important thing. What I've learned coaching over 25 plus years, it really doesn't matter what you know until they know you care. So I want to build relationships with the kids. I want to understand that I'm here for them. I want to build them, academically, athletically, psychologically, help them with their things that are going on, find out about their family life, find out what's making them tick, and really get to know them and be that positive role model in their life. That's my ultimate goal. I am a big believer in the process, really sticking to the process. The outcome will take care of itself. And I think that's very key, of just being very relational, letting the kids know you care, being here, working hard, knowing they can come to you. And I think if you can really create a real good team chemistry, I think that's the key to success. And that'll be our goal here. And I know we're taking over a great team, great group that has a lot of success here and has had great culture. So I'm excited to add to that.
Awesome. So you coached here several years ago. You went to high school here. What made you come back? And
well, football it's interesting. People growing up, not a lot of people in my family went to college. So I played here growing up. I graduated in '88, and my coaches were my father figures. And next thing I know, I was playing football at San Francisco State. I went on to college, and I went to Chico State to finish. But I come watch some of the games. My brother went to here as well and played. So I really got back into it, watching the football side of it. So when I graduated college, I came back and started coaching. I was head JV coach for 3 years, and then I was offensive coordinator for 4. Mark Watson had left the program. They hired Chris Jones. I didn't get the job, and so I went over to Rockland for 2 years, and then I went to Del Oro for 15, and kind of come full circle now. So I just really wanted to get back. Oak Ridge meant a lot to me growing up. I loved the place, and just didn't want to leave. So coming back and having an opportunity to coach and be a role model for kids in the community that I grew up in, I think was big to me, and so that's what I did. So like I said, to have the opportunity to come back 20 years later is pretty awesome.
Right. What are a couple goals you have just to begin the coaching here?
Well, I think I want to continue to build on a great culture that they have already. I think that's going to be the main focus right now. But I'm a 1, 3, 5, 10-year plan guy as well. To me, it's about winning section championships. So that's going to be a big key for us. Obviously we did one the year before, but we got to continue to to win section championships, and we're a tough league, and we play a lot of great teams in our league. One team in particular we haven't had a lot of success again. We need to change that, and we need to continue to not only win section championships, but hopefully inspire to win a state title. That's kind of what it's about. I think they got a good taste of it 2 years back, and we're really, really close to winning the state game, and that's what we want. We want to win state championships and make our community proud.
So you played football. What made you get into coaching?
Well, I think, being that I was only 5'11" and wasn't real fast, I think, it gets to a point sometimes that nobody was paying me to play, So I think that's kind of where, kind of comes to reality when you're in college that you're probably not going to make a living doing this. And I think I was always, I felt a real good leader growing up. I knew what was going on, and knowing the plays, and I think that was probably one of my strengths. And so kind of was a coaching component to that. Again, being around great men, Mike Thomas, Mark Watson, guys like that really were father figures for me and kind of got me into it. I kind of dove in a little bit, in college and checked it out. So I was real excited to have an opportunity, and that's what I love about coaching. I think it keeps you young, keeps you competing. I love to compete, so I think that's what really drew me to it. And I feel very fortunate to have the career I've had, and thank God I got into coaching.
What were 2 or 3 things that compelled you to accept the position here at Oak Ridge?
Well, I think it was just timing. It was really timing. Like I said, when I was done coaching here, I really wanted to stay. It didn't work out, and had an opportunity. I left, went to Rockville, went to Del Oro. I went to Capital Christian, and kind of how COVID worked. I was at Intercom, just with the crazy COVID season, and Coach Cavalier was a good friend of mine stepping down. The timing just hit perfectly. If I would have stayed at Del Oro, probably wouldn't be in this situation. I'd probably stayed where I was at, and. I just think things work for different reasons, and a lot of it's timing, and I just think I'm meant to be here. My full circle's coming around. I got a good 10, 15 years left, and I'm in the right spot to kind of finish my career off. And for to go full circle, I think it's just very awesome. It's been very surreal being here over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and just kind of getting back in that 16, 17-year-old mind of when I was here as a kid. It's been really cool seeing stuff and how much it's developed here, and just been so impressed with the programs like yourselves and the marketing and the people here. Really want kids to succeed, and I'm really excited to join that team.
So you've only been here for a few weeks, and you've met the team.
Yeah.
What sets this team aside from others in the area?
I've been way impressed with the senior leadership. I really have. And they really love one another. They really like each other. And I've been on the successful teams I've had that gone on to state titles and done some things. That's been key. The kids love one another. They hold each other accountable. They work hard. So I've been very, very impressed with that, and hope that continues. We got about a 3-week stretch here where we're lifted, and we start up on the 26th. But I think that was the key, is just the leadership and the culture they've had, and they continue to demand. So I'm excited about that.
How has the football program changed since you were last here?
Everything's just so bigger and better now. When I played here, we didn't have the fancy stadium. We had grab that whole hill where Serrano's out. There was nothing up there. It's just different. There wasn't as many kids. The whole town's kind of changed a little bit. But what I really like about it, and Cav's done a great job of this, is just sticking to the history of the school. A lot of the same traditions. From Trojan jacks to the axe on the helmet means something, to honoring past players and past coaches that have been in the program. That hasn't fallen away. I think when I came back, a lot of things were in place the way they were when I was here. So that really meant a lot to me. I think sometimes you go to other schools and other programs, and it's a new person in, it's a new program, this and that, and it really means a lot to continue the history of the program and the school and what we've accomplished here. Kind of pushing on 40 years to 50 years. That's going to be very, very important of not forgetting about where we came and where we want to go.
What is the vision for this team a year from now, and then on to 3 to 5 years from now?
Yeah, continue to get better and just kind of really, put my stamp on it a little bit. I would say, not changing a lot, but tweaking a little bit, but just again trying to get to a point where they're at right now, competing for section titles. If you win section titles, you have a chance to play NorCal titles and state titles. So I think that's going to be key. I also feel you need to play good teams if you want to win state titles. So I think if you look at my career through the years, I like to play great teams. I like to travel. I like kids to have great experiences that are just not the average experience. So if it's traveling out of state or playing a high-ranked team in LA, or playing in I really believe playing in games for causes, playing in a big, maybe like a military game or something that's not just about football, but it's about a cause. I think those are things I want to kind of go and just continue. I think that everything's here. They've been doing it, so it's not like it's not a major rebuild. I think it's just sticking to the details of where they're at and trying to just kind of get it going. For me, it's just been a whirlwind trying to meet everybody. It's just trying to get to know everybody and what their role is, and that's kind of been the key. That'll probably be the key this year for me, is just getting guys in the right roles, in the right spots, and really learning about people, so we continue to grow as the years go on.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for joining us. Welcome back, and good luck this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right.